Okay, before we start, have you watched the last episode? It was a YouTube exclusive. Make sure you have. And we go now on the build to Backlash. We know Goldberg is the number one contender on Raw. Will he be the only one?
Everywhere I go, there's nowhere I belong. And anyone should tell me where will I find? 'Cause everywhere I go, I'm always on my own. Can anyone just catch me before I drown? Can anybody make me feel like I'm not the stranger tonight?
Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to TEW, the network save, and we flying with WWE 04 right now. Big week planned on Raw and Smackdown. So let's get straight into it. We're on the road to Backlash. Drop a like on the video now, and let's go until I was going to say goodbye. What am I saying goodbye for? I have no idea. Let's get into it. Monday Night Raw. Fire. Monday Night Raw then kicks off on the pre-show with 6-man tag action, getting everyone involved that we can. Orlando Jordan teaming with High Risk against Matt Morgan, Cade and Jindrak, who will have Eric Bischoff out there with them. I actually think the heel group could potentially be a stable down the line. I'm not quite sure at the moment. We'll see.
I mean, all I say to that is, if that's an idea, I would say ask the people, what would you call that group? Just saying.
What would you call that group? We will see. Good win here for the faces. Orlando Jordan getting the win for his team. Paul London carried it with a 57. But 45 for Jindrak and Cade is good. 43 for Spanky is good. And Matt Morgan and Orlando Jordan not quite as good. But I'm trying to get Orlando wins. It's not really helping him as much, but we're trying. We're giving it a go. We'll see.
That's what the pre-show's there for.
The pre-show's not really there for John Cena, but John Cena's in the next match on the pre-show for a 62. Good stuff. Carried by Cena, 72. Very good from him. Billy Kidman, 60. They defeat Kyo Dai. I don't know how you say it, but it's Sakoda and Akio, a.k.a. Jimmy Wang Yang forever. John Cena pinned Jimmy Wang Yang with an FU. He will forever be Jimmy Wang Yang. Do not give me Akio. End of story.
Not saying a word.
Good win for Cena. It'll help him in Texas. It'll boost him in Texas at least, because that's where things are big time, right? In Texas, everything's go big in Texas. So
that's what they say.
That's what they say. We're going to open up the main show though with the five-time former WCW champion Booker T. 92 rate segment. Very good start to the show. Booker T calls out Randy Orton, the man he attacked in the parking lot last week here on Monday Night Raw. And he says it's quite simple. He's attacked him because he wants that Intercontinental Championship. It really is as simple as that. Orton comes out with Evolution by his side, and Orton says Booker just doesn't get a shot by attacking the champion. That's not how it works around here. The champion has control. However, I've spoken to Vince. If you want a title shot, you can have one if you beat Batista tonight. That's it. Orton letting the heavy do the work. If Batista beats Booker T, well, he won't be getting a title shot again. So let's see, shall we? 92 segment, really good opener, and a big main event set up.
I sometimes wish on the segments they can show who scores good in the segments, but they don't. Would have been that.
Kind of do sometimes with the bonuses and whatnot. Everyone's performed pretty well here, to be honest with you. You got to remember, everyone here is late 80s to early 90s popularity, so that's good. That's about what you'd expect from this.
It's ever proven for most of our shows. It's like you want to get the opening segment just right.
Right. Feel like we have there. We're going to go to the first matchup there, and it's 6-man tag. Rey Mysterio teaming with Hurricane and Rosie against Chavo, Guerrero, and Team Mattitude for a 73. My God.
I mean, I'm just happy you're starting to use the Hurricane and Rosie again. They were in the wilderness for the last couple of months or so, and they're back.
How has Rosie managed to put in a 39 and we've still got a 73? Rey Mysterio is coming into some form. So's Chavo, by the way. Chavo putting in a 72.
It's probably what done it. To be fair, you both sides of the teams have got 70s, and I think it's quite even if you look at the scoring.
And I think after last week where Rey was screwed out of the championship, I was hoping for storyline heat here. Yeah, increased due to the storyline's high heat. So it's a hot feud right now. People want to see what's happening with Rey and Chavo. We'll have more from them in a little bit. Well, actually now, because after the match, Rey Mysterio is going to... Oh, wait, I should talk for the finish for it to make sense, right? That's probably how this game and these videos work, right? Rey Mysterio pinned Shannon Moore with a West Coast Pop, the 619. After Chavo Guerrero walks out on his team, Chavo Guerrero realises the writing on the wall and leaves with his team.
He didn't do that, did he?
Or
He didn't do that, did he?
He did. He's a scumbag. But when he left behind the Cruiserweight Championship, so post-match for an 85...
How the hell is... I'll give you that.
Sorry. What?
Oh, actually, that makes sense when you think about it. If you look at... They both got 70s, right? And you said the feud's quite hot at the moment.
God, that's boosted it so much. 85, fantastic. And this is quite a simple one, actually. It's just Rey Mysterio, after the win, celebrates, grabs hold of the Cruiserweight Championship, holds it high as a message to Chavo Guerrero that he is not done fighting for the belt. And he launches the belt, even though it's itty-bitty Rey Mysterio, he launches it from the ring to the aisle area, and it lands in front of Chavo as if to say, keep hold of it for now, I'm coming back for it, type thing. So yeah, I don't know how he's got an 85, but I will absolutely take it. Madness.
Yep. Awesome.
Oh, by the way, I've just realised we're in Texas. This is completely accidental, by the way, because I just picked the one place we hadn't been to least, which was Texas. I've got Taker and Shawn Michaels wrestling tonight.
I think I should just lay down. Now you got this week, but I said every time I think that way, I find a way to get out of the bag.
Can't find a way, don't you? Also, JBL wrestling. We'll get to that in a moment. But let's talk about Backstage. Jamie Noble, an 87. What's going on? What's going on? Jamie Noble and Big Show backstage talking about the fact that tonight Noble goes one-on-one with The Undertaker. Thanks, Teddy. And yeah, Noble is worried about having to face The Undertaker. Big Show tells him not to worry. He's got his back. Big Show says he'll be out there with his tag partner. I don't know how he's got an 87. I don't know what's going on tonight.
Maybe it might be where it is. You know, I think we've had this before. You know, like where certain. We'll look it up afterwards.
Yeah, but the Mid-South isn't that high of an area. I don't know. Maybe it'll go wrong soon. Maybe it's just a hot show at the moment, and we'll see, and it'll run out quickly. Right, before their first of the best of three, JBL cuts a promo on Finlay. There we go. There, we're back. We're back.
To normal.
63. I mean, still not bad, actually. It's JBL.
No, it was 6 feet.
Potentially could do better, but he's not too bad. And JBL quite simply tells Finlay here that he's going to have to worry about his future, because after the beatdown that JBL gives him tonight, Finlay's going to wake up in the hospital. And by the time Finlay's woken up in the hospital, JBL thinks that his visa may have expired. Now, I don't know if Finlay has a visa, but we're just playing on the idea that JBL hates anybody who's not American.
JBL? No.
We're getting away with it in 2004. Then,
the
first of the best of three series is JBL versus Finlay. This is your wild brawl of the night in Texas. And he gets a 67. Okay, so not quite as good from JBL as it has been, but of course Dave Finlay's in it, who's not really at the level I'd want him to be. Really good from JBL again, though, 76. Let's talk about the finish. It's not a mistake. Finlay beats JBL when JBL gets himself intentionally disqualified. Look, it's a best of three. JBL can lose the first one if he makes it very, very easy for himself in 2 and 3.
Is it similar to, obviously not the same concept, but the same idea? You know, when that Iron Man match that Brock had with a Kurt Angle, when he's like he got himself disqualified intentionally, then he can take advantage of. But the question. Did he attack him afterwards, or what is that?
JBL got disqualified by bringing a steel chair into the ring and nailing Finlay in the head with it.
Okay, that makes sense.
And over and over and over again. Chair shots to the legs in particular. Finlay leaves on the shoulders of trainers here, is the idea.
Will it get bloody? Or was it not?
Yes, they'll get bloody. It's 2004. Dave Finlay will definitely be bleeding.
Is it CM Punk AEW bloody like the Crimson Mask?
I mean, we can go there. We can go there. Not a problem. So this means that next week in the second match, JBL, in theory, will have quite a big advantage. We'll get to it later on. Okay. We go to break. We come back from break to find Goldberg coming out to the ring. Goldberg comes out to the ring talking about Backlash, where he faces Shawn Michaels for the WWE Championship. Shawn comes out. They go back and forth on the microphone. Shawn brings up his win over Goldberg at No Way Out. Goldberg wants to put that record straight, but they can't go much further because, well, here comes the pain. Brock Lesnar comes running out for a 96 rated segment.
Not surprising. You've got Goldberg, you've got Shawn Michaels, you've got Brock Lesnar. Probably high ratings.
Runs out and attacks Goldberg. They brawl. Shawn Michaels just watches it. Brock and Goldberg brawl are pulled apart by security who come running down to the ring. Goldberg and Brock are pulled apart as we head back to a commercial break. Brock is not happy and Brock isn't quite done. We go to the commercial break and we come back because Shawn Michaels is in action. That's what was next to happen. Goldberg just came out to say some words and then Brock came out. But it's going to be Shawn Michaels versus Tajiri. Can we continue these sort of segments? I damn hope we can. I might jinx myself here, but this might be the best match of Tajiri's save. Let's see. Let's see.
I'm hoping you jinx yourself like that. How many else?
Shawn and Tajiri gets a 76. I jinxed myself.
You did. You got all hyped because you just saw a 96 and you were like, "Oh yeah, that's going to get the score." But if you look at it from a good point, 76.
Yeah,
Tajiri, that's was it a 53? Did he get?
To be honest, it's because Shawn's actually kind of off his game here. Only an 89, slightly lower than you'd expect. Shawn does beat Tajiri, and I gave it time because these are two good wrestlers. And Tajiri in 04 isn't just a jobber.
I know, I do. I mean, if you watch anything from 02 to 04, like the guy is legit badass. Yeah, he's overrated, I would say.
So Shawn Michaels defeats Tajiri with the switching music. No surprise there. Just a good TV match. And then JR goes, "Well, hang on a minute, King. Hang on a minute. I'm hearing that there's something going on backstage." And we go backstage where Brock and Goldberg are not done. They are fighting backstage for a 90 rated segment here. Brock gets control with a low blow to Goldberg. Okay? And then he picks up Goldberg. They're fought at this point. I've got this. This is crazy. I've got this. They're fought all the way up to the roof of the building.
What roof like this?
Right? They're on the top of the roof. And Goldberg, he's been low blowed. Brock picks him up to the F5 and threatens to throw him off the roof of the building.
For some really messed up reason, I was thinking you're going to throw him over the roof, aren't you? I don't know why. This
is what Brock is threatening when out comes Shane McMahon right at the right moment. Okay, Shane says, "Listen, Brock, don't do it. I'll not only lose Goldberg, I'll lose you when you go to prison, obviously, right?" And Shane says, "What do you want?" And Brock says, "I want in." And Shane says, "You've got it." Brock F5s Goldberg, but onto the roof. So, he's alive. Don't worry.
Yeah.
But the big takeaway is that Brock Lesnar, the animal, has fought his way in. It's going to be Brock versus Goldberg versus Shawn Michaels at Backlash.
So basically, you've just given Brock the name of that really good Smackdown game. Was it Beast Unleashed or something like Unleashed or something?
I don't know.
I don't know, but either way, that's what I think. The Beast Unleashed. That's what it feels
Unleashed, indeed. 90, good stuff. Yeah, just kind of fitting for Brock, really. It's a way to get to the triple threat, which was always the plan for the record.
What I love about this is like most people just have matches. You go to like the extreme of like almost committing murder just to get into a match.
The problem is with my dislike of Goldberg in general, as Brock's picking him up and threatening the F5, a bit of me's like, "Go on, do it. But
mate, we need to have a chat because that's not good.
Right, good stuff though. Good 90-rated segment. So yeah, we'll go to another backstage segment where Vince McMahon enters, the dark room of the Brothers of Destruction for an 85. Vince tells Taker and Kane listen, as tag team champions, you will be defending your belts at Backlash. Against who? Well, I'm here to let you know. You will find out next week, because next week there will be what have I got written here? A triple threat tag team match for the number one contendership. It'll be Test and Albert against High Risk against the Knockout Artists, and the winner gets the Brothers of Destruction at Backlash. So yeah, that's should be a good match next week. Interesting one. There's one clear favourite, I'm not going to lie, but we'll see if they even win. 85, good stuff.
You might swerve. You might swerve us.
Swerve everyone.
I mean, you won't, but you might.
There's a couple of comments in the Twitch chat at the moment about Rey being ready to main event. Well, maybe he is, but he wants that Cruiserweight Championship. So, Rey Mysterio in 82 cut a promo on Chavo Guerrero saying, it's quite simple, Chavo. I'm not going to stop till I have that championship. Or at least till I get one more opportunity. That's right. I'm challenging you for 2 weeks right here on Monday Night Raw. And if you give me that match and I don't win, I will never challenge you as champion ever again. Rey puts his future Cruiserweight Championship opportunities on the line for one more shot in 2 weeks.
Like that. I always like that stuff. I always like those kind of stipulations, just because it always makes it's too tempting for the heel not to take it. I always like those stipulations.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it should be next week. If you get numbers like that, you've got a good match there.
2 weeks. 2 weeks. We're gonna build on it next week, but 2 weeks.
My bad.
Go home show to Backlash. We're doing it on Raw. Because we don't have the space on it for the pay-per-view. But anyway, right. Okay, then let's see what Taker does then. It's Taker versus JB Noble. Let's see. Only a 79. Okay, then Jamie Noble doesn't do it, and they didn't click, so it brought Taker down as well. Oh, that's not gone well, has it? Really? Still, I mean, it could have been worse, but
I mean, mate, you do get that image of a last wide by Undertaker and Jamie Noble. That would be hilarious.
Yeah.
So you get that. So at least you get that from it. So 79 is too good, though.
I mean, Taker's carried it to acceptable, so we'll take it. 84 from him. And yeah, a win for Taker. Do you really think Jamie Noble's beating The Undertaker? Absolutely not. But the reason this happens is to get to what we need to do afterwards. Next week, TNA versus High Risk versus the Knockout Artists for the Brothers of Destruction tag title shot. Well, we've got the Brothers of Destruction out here. We've got the Knockout Artists out here. How come TNA to join us? They attack The Undertaker and Kane at ringside. Big Show getting involved too. 3-on-2. But out come High Risk as well to help the Brothers of Destruction. 74 for this is very good considering some of the tag teams in here. Okay? The faces fight them off, obviously. And what I like the idea of here is that The Undertaker sort of puts a fist out and fist bumps High Risk to say thank you and a bit of respect. That would put over High Risk so much in.
I mean, it's similar to shaking John Cena's hand when he first debuted. That was huge. Like, you've earned you get going somewhere if you've earned the respect of The Undertaker. I like that kind of stuff.
It's a way to build to the big match next week, and also to officially, because we should have done it a long time ago, and in Story we've done it. Taz is officially a heel. My God, finally we got there.
It's took you long enough, man. Come on.
I forgot. But yes, good stuff. Okay, towards the main event, Evolution cut a promo on Booker T for an 84. They say that this madness ends tonight. The usage of the word, Booker cuts a promo on Orton as well. It's a Stuart special with the main event. Booker says it's quite simple. He needs to win because he needs to know his place on this brand, and he's that place Intercontinental Champion. Booker's in a weird state right now. He's in a weird state of self-doubt, it feels like.
Okay, I mean, if you look at it from the story, yes, but also if you look at it from, I know why he's getting it in numbers, because it might have been a blessing in disguise. You gave him that Brock win.
Yeah, maybe. Let's see if the main event gets through it then. It is Booker T versus Batista. If Booker T wins, he gets an Intercontinental Championship opportunity. If Batista wins, Booker does not get a championship opportunity again. Let's see how we go. The winner and the main event, we get an 82. Wow.
What put that down?
So Booker T and Batista don't click at all, and it showed in their performances. That's 2 in one night. That's mean. It's completely random in this game, so it's just how it happens.
Maybe it might be a situation of the game's kind of even itself out, because you did jinx it early on.
Yeah,
when
clearly.
you said, it's a hot show right now, and then all of a sudden, but 82 is pretty good. I mean,
it could have been worse considering 67 and 68, so it's not bad at all. You'll see the finish though. Batista wins following a spine buster. Sure, Batista bomb probably. Following interference from Ric Flair. Evolution screw Booker T out of it here. There's no bones about it. Booker, he didn't get a fair shot. Ric Flair got involved at the behest of Randall Keith. Well, Booker T's Intercontinental Championship journey is over, right?
Good think.
Right. Post-match, Evolution... 3-on-1 beatdown of Booker T as well. Randy Orton laughs in his face, holding the Intercontinental Championship high. Not been a good night in his hometown for Booker T.
You WWE'd it. You did it. You did that.
A little bit.
Everyone, I never got that in WWE. It's like you're in your hometown, so what does that mean? You're going to lose. But
I can't call this one. I can't call this show actually because we did have a 95 in there. Remember?
I'm going for either a 93. Or like similar to your best, because 93 is your best, Joe?
I don't know. I think it might be like an 88. I don't know though. I can't call it. The game is a bit random.
I think it's got potential to be a 90. I think it's up there, but we'll find out. So
let's find out. Raw gets an 89. Okay, I said 88, so 89 is about right. It's still a pretty good show. We've been dealt some harsh hands with the chemistry. For example, Shawn and Tajiri was a little lower than you'd probably expect, but for the most part, it's still a good show. Is it an all-out show? No, not quite.
I mean, to be fair, you are getting, like, it means as well, it's like most of our shows are either kind of 89, 90s at the moment. So it's like...
It's still good. It's still good. And it's one of these, you've got to be at the top of your game to beat it still. So I'm pretty happy.
I think I've got a good show as well. So we'll find out. But it should... but yeah, 89 to beat. I mean... I seem to have a knack of getting good scores as well, so we'll find out. But yeah, 89. I think that's still good though. Still a good show.
Smack those asses down to the seats. It's Smackdown time. CM Punk defeats Stevie Richards in a pre-show match again. Punk getting better though. 41 from Punk. He's getting better.
Yeah, I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued to see what happens with him because obviously, I've got plans for him, and I'm intrigued when them plans finally come to fruition. When I put him in matches, hopefully against 60 rated people, it should do good numbers. But yeah, I mean, for 240-ish guys and they get 46, that's good. So happy with that.
Cool. Second pre-show match: Billy and Chuck versus La Resistance, and we just spoke about it on the Twitch chat. So I'm going to throw it to YouTube. I have read that Rene Dupree's finisher was the French tickler. Somebody out there, help me. 50 for this though, pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's Billy and Chuck. Again, it's one of those things I need to start. I have to admit, I've been focused on a bit more on the main title stuff than the other stuff in the tag division. So I need to work on that. But again, Billy and Chuck work better together anyway. They're good. It's Rene, the La Resistance back is good because I can use them because Rene Dupree by himself isn't. I thought it would be better, but he's not. So. As a tag team, it should be good. So, but yeah, to get a 50 out of that, I'm happy.
Very happy indeed. Good stuff. Main show then kicks off with Triple H and Eddie Guerrero.
For 99. Yeah, I'm loving that. I mean, we talked about that. It was on your one. We've got to start the show strong. Anyway, yeah. So basically, obviously, as we don't go home kind of show, we obviously. Kind of on the middle of the show, we found out Triple H is the number one contender for the World Heavyweight Championship. As much as it's really, really easy to say WWE Championship, it still feels weird. But yeah, so basically we start Triple H talking about last week, saying he has to earn his shot, and kind of talking about why have to earn a shot for a title that is mine. and obviously that's like a kind of slight dig at Mick Foley, because obviously they're never going to agree on anything. And then he just basically comes out saying he's going to promise Eddie Guerrero at Backlash. He's going to win his title back. And as everyone knows me, I'm always a man with a plan. So I've got a plan here for you, Eddie. If you can't comment right now, to make this match a little bit more interesting. So obviously Eddie comes out, and then kind of Triple H comes out, talks about his plan. Basically said, to make this match interesting, what we're going to do is you're going to have a match tonight. You're going to go against a person I've hired before. You're going to go against Mark Kenway. But to make this match a little bit interesting, we're going to have a situation. Well, okay, if you beat him, I can't use my pedigree. I can't hit my finisher. But if he beats you, you can't use the frog splash against me. So what do you think? And then obviously this puts that offer to Eddie Guerrero, and he's thinking about it. But obviously at this point, Eddie's kind of like really confident at this point. He's on a high, obviously. So basically it's like, yeah, shakes his hand, he goes and says, yeah, I'm up for that. Because obviously, but again, I like the idea of commentary with the idea, similar to we've done before, is commentary is like, yeah, he shouldn't have done that. Triple H is always, most of his plans usually come true and usually go well for him, so they shouldn't have done that match. Shouldn't have agreed to that. But so we've got setting up a match where whoever wins won't be able to use their finishers in the title match.
Well. 99, a good start. I'm worried. I am worried. Paul Heyman is backstage talking to the School of Hard Knocks, who, well, they will be the first team in the Dudley's Dynamic Gauntlet. That's what we've got to call it now.
Oh my God, that's brilliant! I love that name.
You're welcome.
That is brilliant. That came with like that. Well, I loved it anyway. So yes, that'd be good. It'd be good. It's the type of thing Paul Heyman come up with. Anyway, but this is not really any crazy here. It's just basically another one of those kind of like, the cameras, the old Smackdown music playing in the background. And basically, the cameras caught them talking to it. Paul Heyman talking to them, probably give them a bit of suggestions, or kind of telling them kind of like to do what kind of how to get the win, because obviously Paul Heyman's like the puppet master, he's in charge. He always has a plan. But just kind of it's just kind of like that, that stuff where it's like just before a match they have a bit where it's like the camera cuts them do something type thing, to just to say that Paul Heyman's we know who the first team is, and obviously Paul Heyman's giving them instructions. So we'll find out what that means next. Okay,
the match itself then. Will the Dudleys get through match number 1 against the School of Hard Knocks? If you're a wrestling fan, you know that they do. Come on, 72.
Yes, I'm happy with that. I mean, as I said, we've put obviously it is known we put it as a royal brawl, so no surprise that it's exceeded expectations in that sense. But as I've as we were talking about with my notes here, I literally put a simple match, nothing crazy. It just kind of ends with Hardcore Holly taking the pin, getting a 3D by the Dudleys, and it's ironic because on this is weak link, so maybe that's the way it works. But gets 3D, gets the win. So look, but then we kind of cut back to backstage. Obviously, Paul Heyman watching on the screen, looking really worried because it's not going according to plan.
We didn't have that, but maybe you've just had it in. Anyway, next segment.
No, I didn't. I didn't want it to be a thing that would be a segment thing. It's just like a passing comment. So that's why I didn't put it.
Right, miscommunication at the junction there. We got it. 49 for this though, and Molly Holly wants her title back.
Again, this is kind of a simple thing of just basically it's the backstage. Obviously, they're all involved in the 6-way number 1 contendership match tonight for whoever's going with the women's championship, and it's basically Molly Holly just talking to Gail Kim and Jazz, kind of sitting as barking out instructions for tonight, saying that you're both in this match, you're in this match tonight, but if your job is not to win it, your job is to help me and to make sure that Victoria doesn't get involved in this match. But I like the idea of Gail Kim and Jazz not happy with this.
No, of course they wouldn't be.
So, but it's not like it's by like I like the idea that they're together as a group, but it's not like they're just following her orders, doing it because they want to enhance their careers. So I like that maybe it'd be interesting to see what that turns up in the number 1 contendership match later on in the evening. So
indeed.
Yeah, 49 for them. That's all right.
Okay, backstage, Chris Jericho and Christian. Are we hearing there's a commotion? There's a commotion, Stu, for an 84.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. Yeah, basically, it said we cut to like backstage incident with basically like you got Christian and Chris Jericho attacking RVD, proper like beating the hell out of him. Obviously, again they're having their problems at the moment, Jericho and Christian a little bit. But as I said before, if there's anything that brings them together, is their collective hatred for RVD. So but obviously attacking from behind, attacking him. Obviously you got the officials, the refs trying to pull them apart. And just when RVD gets up, boom, out of nowhere, or as a commentary, can't remember who the commentary person was, but like, where was it? Out of nowhere, gore. Just one, obviously, but just I love saying it. Was it Rhino comes out of nowhere? Obviously, as we obviously didn't happen on last week's show, we do know that he has a shot at the US title that he won at WrestleMania. So he's basically obviously didn't get it last week, so I don't think he's very happy at the moment. So but yeah, so obviously go out of nowhere, and he gets taken away as well with the security and all that stuff. But basically, poor RVD, he's everyone's gunning for him. It's what happens when you're US champion. Everyone's gunning for you. So
I like the idea that as a booker, you've looked at RVD, who's got extracurricular activities, let's say, and you've got, what he needs? He needs some vitamins, some vitamin C. I see what you've done. 84. Right, second of the Dudley Dynamic Gauntlet against the Bastion Brothers. Let's see how this one does. Okay, not bad actually. 65. Wow.
I'm happy with that. I was dreading, but then to be fair, it's similar score to what they did when they had the title match a couple months ago, a month ago or so ago. But yeah, this is kind of again, I wrote less for this just because it's pretty straightforward where this was going, in the sense of just was it similar to their battles before, but then obviously adds no spice to anyone. The Dudleys win 3D on I think what did we put? We put Doug unfortunately got the 3D.
Yeah,
but,
poor Doug. Oh, Doug.
Poor Doug.
Doug.
I feel sorry for Doug there. But yeah, so that's 2 for 2. But obviously Paul Heyman's like freaking out again. We go backstage.
This one's on here.
6, 7 again. That's too good. I think that's pretty good. Yes, obviously we got this after the match. You got Paul Heyman and the World's Greatest Tag Team come to the ring on the top of the stage, kind of interrupts them. Basically, Paul Heyman's like kind of being a man, especially like he's freaking out because it's like he's gone crap. This hasn't gone according to plan. But as is one thing Paul Heyman's very good at is thinking on his feet and kind of having a plan just out of nowhere. So, but yeah, so obviously he says, okay, this hasn't worked out. So what we're gonna do is next week you're gonna have another tag match of opponents that I choose, and we're going to pick the match, right? Mm-hmm. But just to entice you in, if we win, if you somehow a miracle occurs, and you do beat who I choose you to face next week, you get to pick the type of match we have in the tag team title match. And obviously, Dudley's are saying. That at this point Dudley's like, you know what, we'll do everything you say. We don't care. We just want to win those titles back. So they agree. So we just have a little gauntlet, but next week we've got another match. It's got a little bit of an interesting stipulation on it. So yeah.
So Paul Heyman doing Paul Heyman things there.
Indeed.
Okay, Kurt Angle is being interviewed backstage. He seems to have lost his way a little bit. 90 though, good stuff.
Yeah, it's Kurt in it. But it just seems to be the same response for Kurt Angle, isn't it? It's just Kurt. It's what he does, isn't it? It's just that amazing. But yeah, this one's kind of a situation as we've kind of put across since the start of the Saviors, you could say. It's Kurt Angle. He's lost the big ones. I think he's lost, was it 3 title matches in a row? He's not looking good. And it looks like, and some people have started to question his ability in the ring and that kind of stuff. So obviously they asked him this question, and obviously Kurt Angle's style was very not happy with this, and kind of like reminding people like, do you know who I am? Like I'm Olympic gold medalist. I won it with a broken freaking neck. it's like, how dare you sit there and tell me that tell me, doubting my ability in the ring. So you know what? As always on the show, I've got to prove it, haven't I? Okay. So what I'm going to do is, next, I'm going to go to that ring, and I'm going to issue an open challenge to anyone in this locker room. You know, okay. And I'm going to show you why.
So
I run this show.
Unfortunately, this won't be the debut of the ruthless aggression because we've already done that. But it's a Kurt Angle Open Challenge. It worked last time in real life, so let's see what happens here. Who's the opponent going to be? Are you ready for a surprise?
How? How has that happened? That's got a good score, 69.
I don't understand. They have good chemistry as well.
That makes no sense to me.
What the hell's happened there?
It's not the storyline heat, is it? Because that's not fair, because it's just literally started.
Pin lines for being face versus face, in a way. And the storyline heat, yeah?
Come on, man. They should get at least a 70 or 80.
Edge is back, though.
Doesn't feel right, though. Doesn't feel great now. I'm bummed by that. Oh, yeah, maybe it's a situation I might have to do a bit of tinkering there. But if that was...
To be honest, I kind of think that's out. It may be that you've done the match too early in the feud, maybe, but at the same time, from our point of view, I understand why you've done it. From a story point of view, we understand why you've done it. I don't think it's translated well into the game.
Oh, it's just harsh. I mean, it's probably... maybe some stuff I did in the later on the show might save me. Yeah, I don't know. It's fine.
It should be a good match though, because Kurt 96 really carries it. Edge 69, and Edge beats Kurt Angle with a spear. So despite the match rating, Edge is going to get a big boost out of this.
I hope so, because that's the whole point of kind of doing it. Because I wanted to Edge's back, so I wanted it to be a big return, and I knew I wouldn't get. If I just done it as a segment, I wouldn't have got. Maybe I should have. Might have got better score.
Maybe. But
I thought I'd do a match, and obviously with Kurt. I mean, and you could do a max of 2 matches, like back to back. So it should. I'm just bored with that. But again, it's fine. It's fine. It's another learning curve for me when it comes to booking. So the game can be ruthless, and that's why we kind of love it.
So yeah, Edge counters. Kurt gets a quick spear, gets the win. Good stuff. We'll see what happens. Well, good stuff for Edge, not good stuff for me as well. Anyway, see what happens next week.
You're grinning right now, and
a little bit.
You're trying to be. Yeah.
I'm trying to be sportive, but I'm also very, very pleased with that. Right, backstage, Mick Foley's called in the 3-heel group of Christian, Jericho, and Rhino to answer for their actions.
Yeah, it's kind of a situation of call him in the office, kind of saying, "What the hell was that?" And they and basically it's simple reply saying, "Isn't it obvious? We all want a title shot." Obviously, Rhino's got his, and he's like, "When am I going to get mine?" Christian hasn't got his rematch yet, and obviously Jericho's, is going to back, anything to help out his best friend. So, and a kind of just when Mick Foley's about to answer, Rob Van Dam just bursts into the office. Obviously, he's fuming at this point. We're not talking about chill RVD here. We're talking about a really pissed off RVD at this point. Because think about it, he got attacked by 3 men from behind. He got attacked by Christian, and then he got gored. I mean, if I got gored by Rhino, I wouldn't be happy, would you? But
be in pain.
But, yeah, it's very much pain. So yes, she's coming in, beating the crap out of everyone in there, and then we just kind of end with everyone push, the security again, bring them out, and kind of RVD saying, "Oh, I face you all. I face you all. If you want a title shot, you've all got it. But first, I'm facing you first." And obviously he's pointing at Rhino. So I kind of set up, obviously, for a match next week.
I like the idea that you're giving Van Dam a bit of an edge here, because it's kind of the one thing that's been missing throughout his WWE run. You'd say he's always been this easygoing guy.
Yeah, I mean, you can only go so far, but I think like this is it's kind of pushing him, I don't want to say over the edge. Yeah, it's like
just giving him a little bit of an edge. I quite like it. Right, Lita cuts a promo on Trish Stratus for a 67.
Okay, that's good. That's good. It's good. I'm actually bummed by that score. That score. It's really bummed me out. Okay, so so basically Lita's talking about, obviously about she was so close to win the women's title at WrestleMania, and says, yeah, and she just again, she knows she can beat Trish because she's done it before, and and she appreciates going to have a shot, and she's going to beat all 5 of those women, and she's going to have face Trish, and she's going to win that title. Win that title. So yeah, it's a simple promo here. It's nothing really crazy here in a sense. It's just for Lita to kind of put her. Maybe she's the favourite in the match.
Maybe she's one with the experience. You would argue. So it's Molly versus Lita versus Jacqueline versus Gail Kim versus Jazz versus Tori Wilson. 6-pack challenge. The winner gets a title shot against Trish, and the winner, Stu, I'll let you do the honours.
Okay, this is good. This is interesting.
This is. I'll be honest with you. What he's got written down here is the best piece of finishing booking that he's written in the entire series. Go. It's honestly, get the Oscars.
Okay, so basically, again, okay, as you can see, Gail Kim won it. But the way I wanted to do it is I wanted to be kind of I didn't want it to be just like, a clean win or anything like that. So what basically it's like, again, it falls. But basically, the end of the match is Lita does a moonsault on Gail Kim. What was it, Gail Kim? Have I done this wrong? On Gail Kim, and then Gail Kim falls on Molly Holly, and then it gets and then the ref sees this 1, 2, 3, and out of nowhere, Gail Kim is your number 1 contender for the women's title.
It's brilliant. 56 isn't bad, It's just the best piece of booking I've seen in a long while.
No, because it's similar. Oh, God, it's a really random one, but it's when Chavo Guerrero Senior won the Cruiserweight Championship, right? It's so random. It's like he just won it. He just beat his son out of nowhere, fell onto, got the pin, and that's what I was thinking here. But it was the only way I can think to do it. But 6. But again, they're all good score workers there. That's why I put them all in the match. To be fair, but. Are you actually thinking that's a good idea?
No, I think it's brilliant. Honestly, I do think it's great. I genuinely love these little finishes like that. Gail Kim, then, new number 1 contender, goes face to face with the champ with Molly Holly and Jazz watching on. Molly would be very jealous.
Oh, yeah, she's shrimmy at this point, but again, she's I might flip it saying that she doesn't realise it yet. She's obviously what I do is basically it's going to be a face to face between obviously the champ and Gail Kim in the ring, and obviously I think on top of my head what I like the idea of it's then you kind of see in the background Molly Holly looking furious at this is supposed to be her moment, her rematch, and her protege, you could say, taking her spot from her. So I don't think she's going to be happy about that. So yeah, it sets up women's Trish Stratus versus Gail Kim for the women's title. So
interesting choice. I like it. I do. It's different. RVD promo on Rhino 73. Good stuff.
I'm pretty up for that. So basically, as we kind of point out, I now think about it's doing the interview, and basically RVD's pacing. He's he can't stop. He's furious basically. It's how dare he kind of how dare you how dare these guys do this to me? How dare you attack me and that kind of stuff? And they're if you want, I like this line. I think it's if you want this title, you've got to take it from my cold, dead hands. I'm going to fight for this title as much as I'm going to fight, and you have to got to do more. You're going to have to do more than that to take that title from me.
Yeah.
And kind of sets up that basically Rhino might have unleashed. I don't want to use it again, unleashed the beast, but I might have awakened a part of RVD we haven't seen yet.
Yeah, he's awakened the Van Daminator, it seems. Okay, Lance Storm promo on Scott Steiner. The show's going off a cliff here. Oh, it's going off a cliff. Go on.
Is it though? 54 for a Lance Storm promo?
It is. Once Scott Steiner gets out there, honestly, it's going to go off a cliff.
He says that, and then it's going to be he's hoping it was. But anyway, the point is, this is just another situation of similar to kind of RVD as well, in a sense. Lance Storm's just fed up of people attacking from behind, fed up of people doubting him. And obviously everyone forgets he got a big win against Mark Henry last week, but then obviously Scott Steiner talking big words, but tonight Scott Steiner's going to find out the real, Lance Storm, because obviously you can see that at this point Lance Storm's he's getting wins, but again, people just still don't respect him, especially the heels and stuff. So he's got to still got something to prove. Because if you think about it, except for the WrestleMania, he's been on a good run. He's got a couple of big wins. So let's see. Hopefully we get a good score. If I can get like 70, I'll be happy. So
Lance Storm versus Scott Steiner.
No,
72.
Way.
Yes.
No.
Oh, lovely. I need to check if that's getting a good score. I had a feeling it would, because obviously Scott Steiner's approved himself.
Scott Steiner is fucking OP on this game. What the fuck? I'm fuming.
As always, I always like it, when you say, Scott Steiner's OP, it's like, it always feels like it's utter disrespect for me using him. If he's good, use him. I think last couple of weeks has proved that if you put Scott Steiner in most situations, he can produce good scores on the game.
Let me send a message. I'm going to look in the camera for this, right? Whoever created this database, if you are watching this, right, you have an unhealthy obsession with Scott Steiner and you need help. It's not right. Continue.
I mean, if there's one thing that's universally true about any of these days we do, there's always that one wrestler that just tips Kyle over the edge.
And in 2 different series, it's been Scott Steiner.
It just feels like, I mean, Scott Steiner must be glad that I signed him to Smackdown, because he would have, God forbid, what kind of booking decisions you would have done.
I wouldn't have signed him at all. I would have released him.
I was saying, we're not going to do like a free agent. He could be like the Heath Slater of the save.
I would have released
Nobody
him.
wants.
I would have released
but
him.
Again,
definitely.
I
still might.
I benefit. But I mean, I would say you wouldn't, but you would. But anyway, again, this is kind of funny. I like the ideas that I kind of put Lance Storm completely out wrestles him. When you think about it, he probably would, because Lance Storm is an efficient, very good wrestler. So, but the way this match is kind of end with just super kick, because obviously very good super kick by Lance Storm on Scott Steiner. Gets the win. But again, if there's anything universally, no.
Oh look, it's Rikishi.
I love the way it's like an under the radar return, isn't it? It's like, Rikishi's back. Obviously last week, as you would expect, 2-on-1 by if I call it the House of Pain. I think that's an awesome name. But House was a House of Pain. Come in the ring, beat the crap out of Lance Storm. 2-on-1. It seems to be always the case. Just when he gets the victory in the ring, but he's always outnumbered because of. Not this time, as we've seen. Rikishi's back, comes back. Everyone's maybe it's a low key return, like when essentially obviously Eddie's returned in the save. But I like the idea of obviously, if you know from the previous story, is that it was Mark Henry that chucked Rikishi off the stage a couple of weeks ago. So Rikishi wants revenge, or as I say, out for blood. And he comes back, saves Lance Storm, fights, takes him out, and we end with Lance Storm and Rikishi standing tall in the ring. So could set up an interesting story. But 60. I'm pretty happy with that.
Honestly, I love it. Eddie Guerrero.
Are you okay over there?
Yeah, I'm all right. Eddie Guerrero cuts a promo ahead of the main event for an 86.
Yeah. Obviously with this one, I kind of put in a situation he didn't on his point, but we can. Yeah, okay. Nice one, chat. But in this one, I switch up a bit. But basically, it's like he doesn't care. Like that you should pick for it. Was it Mark Henry? But it's just like I want to roll. Like I'm not scared of you, Triple H. I can beat you. I'll beat you once. I can beat you again. You can have all the plans, all the games, as you would say, all the things you want, but they won't work. Because at a Backlash, I'm going to win. So, and tonight I'm going to prove it.
Okay, let's see if he does. Eddie Guerrero and Mark Henry in the main event.
This is a risk, but
this is a risk.
It's like rolling the dice, as they say. I love it. So I don't really want to just announce it. I just want to put it out there and just explain it before everyone just turns on me.
The main event gets no freaking
a 90.
way.
Yeah, yes, it freaking worked. Yes, I'm so happy with that because, because again, it's when I think at Combat Dash Pines a couple of weeks ago, I tried this with Kurt Angle and that, and it worked brilliantly.
Yeah, but look at the finish. Let me look before he explains it. Get in the comment section now, because if this was me, you would be in that comment section and in the Twitch chat ripping on me. He's put Mark Henry over 2004 world champion
Okay.
Guerrero.
Okay, to point out one, if you actually read the thing on there, interference from Triple H.
Got him. He's hot now. He's hot.
So right. No, seriously. I know what you're trying to do, but it's like, and two, this is the cop. If it was a clean win, and Mark Henry just beat him clean, right? Yes, you've got me. I've done it. But it's interference with Triple H, right? So and also from the storyline from the start of the show, it sets up an interesting story with he can't use his frog splash. So all the odds are against Eddie Guerrero going into the match. So in theory, it makes sense, but
no,
I think it does. But to be fair, I've got it under control. So
imagine, right? If this was what happened in real life in 2004 and Twitter was a thing. Oh my god!
I don't know, man. I honestly think you're overblowing this just for the views.
It's the equivalent of Drew McIntyre winning the championship from Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, right? The following night, he faced Big Show. Ignore that it's a title match, but it's the equivalent of him losing to the Big Show because Seth Rollins got involved.
Yeah, but you're saying the night after?
Or the week after then?
Well, this is the second week, though. Because he won the first one. Like, if this was was this the night after WrestleMania?
Oh,
yes.
No, you can't put the championship on Eddie Guerrero and then have him lose to Mark Henry.
I think it makes perfect sense storyline-wise, but okay, we'll just have to agree to disagree in this one. But it's still got a 90, so it's still got it kind of justified it with the score, to be fair. So, but anyway, let's end the show.
Before we do, I just want to point out, this is the last thing I'll say on it, okay? If this happened in real life, this equivalent, Stuart would be the first one complaining. You know you would. You know you would. You know you would. Right, let's see what we got. 89 to beat.
Oh, actually, I've got another...
Oh, there is another segment. Take it back.
Nice try.
There is another segment. 84 for this.
That's fine. It's probably smart.
Eddie Guerrero has been buried. That's why at this point no one cares.
And I know what you're trying to do, and to a fair, it has worked because I have got triggered a little bit. But I know what you're trying to do. Okay, yeah, again, a simple end with Triple H raising Mark Henry's hand with was it yet again? Triple H's plan has worked, so all the odds are against Eddie Guerrero. So.
Okay. So 89 to beat. How far will that 99 segment that opened the show carry?
If I can get 87, I'll be.
I think that 99. I think you've beat it because of the 99. The rest of the show, absolutely not. But the 99. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, to be fair, I'm pretty happy. Even if I don't get the score I want, I'm pretty happy. I'm happy with most of it. I'm still disappointed with that Edge thing.
Yeah,
should have worked.
Is a problem. Let's see. 89 to beat. Smackdown gets
93.
Bullshit. No.
You know what it is, isn't it?
No.
I love it. I just love the way it triggers you so much. I'm assuming.
93. I'd have accepted you beating me by like getting a 90 because of the 99. But 93? I had a better show than you. All-round show. You just had one amazing segment.
The funny thing is, it's like I get it when you say that, but again, the stuff that I mean, I've got to be honest. That
when I say that, I'm not saying you had a bad show. For the record. I'm not saying that.
Sometimes, to be fair though, sometimes it does feel like a dig at me. It's like it's only hanging on one segment.
You've got to remember, I haven't won a month yet, and I really don't know how. These last few weeks, right, I've been putting on really, really, really good shows, and you've been drawing with me. It is that one segment. If that gets a 90, as an example, which will still be good, if that gets a 90, you're getting an 87. I'm telling you.
That's what I thought. I mean, you make so like I literally because I thought that Edge thing disappointing and some maybe that, but
because there's nothing else on the show above a 90. Game. I'm annoyed. I'm fuming.
Okay, but obviously I'm happy. So I think that's equally my best, isn't it? 93.
Probably.
I don't know. I mean, I got to be honest. Like, yeah, it might be an Eagles, but maybe the segments, maybe just because of like the segments hit good heights. So, but okay, it's fine. So it's 9 for it. So okay.
1-0, fine. Okay, then the week. Well, he beat us. He did beat us, and I may have lost the plot a little bit there. I'm still annoyed, but it is what it is. We'll fight back on Wednesday because week 3 of the Backlash booking comes your way. Who will win the second of the best of 3, JBL or Finlay? We've got more on the card. It should be interesting. Make sure you don't miss it. Until next time. Oh, make sure you're watching the AEW save. Anyone who's not, get on that Friday, 4:30. Peace.